A 3, 2, 1. Good morning. It's currently raining, and I'm sitting in the car, and my stomach was all like, bloop, 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 bloop. We're going backwards. So I just had some McDonald's breakfast, and then my stomach was all bloop, bloop, bloop. So then I had to go into McDonald's and bloop, bloop, bloop. But yeah, it's been a minute. Every week I make a video and I'm like, I'm gonna post this. I'll post them to see, because you'll see a bit. I'm gonna post it, but then I get home and I start doing other stuff. The next week, all right, I'm gonna post this, but then it keeps happening. But I don't know, maybe the tradition will continue. But let's see here. I bought so it's raining. I was just gonna walk around and make a video, but then it was raining when I stepped out of the house. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy an umbrella. So I drove to Walmart to go buy an umbrella. The first staff I seen, I said, "Excuse me, do you know where the umbrellas are?" She said, "I don't know." I said, "Okay, whatever." So I walked around a little bit, because they renovated the Walmart. It used to be where it used to be, but it's not there. So I went to customer service. I said, "Hi, do you know where the umbrellas is?" She's like, "It's over by the purses." And then she's like, "Do you want me to go take you?" I'm like, "Yeah." Because that's how it used to be back in the day, before COVID, or at least I wasn't here in the States like that. But when I came home during COVID times, I'm like, "Do you know where something is?" There was like one staff per 20 aisles. And he's like, "It's over there. Sorry." But now it's kind of staffed up. So she brought me over there. I found the thing. I just used the umbrella, so it's all wet. And I don't know the way to use an so when I was in Japan, I had umbrellas. So you get your umbrellas and you put it in the little thing in front of your house. But where do you put a wet umbrella in your car? So I came in from this way and I closed it, and it's all like, and then I'm dragging it over here and it's all like, and now it's all like on that side and it's all wet. But we'll figure it out. Let's see. Let's work backwards. Yesterday I was super tired. I woke up at 3:30 and I was working on some stuff and went to work and working some stuff. So it was in the other videos. I don't know if I said it in this one, but on Fridays I'm trying to have, like, Monday through Thursday we work hard and do whatever. Then on Friday the students can get a fun Friday where we could just do some fun activity. I think I mentioned it. I'm not sure if I posted the video though. So a couple weeks ago we did a fun Friday where I did Uno, and I bought all these Uno cards from everywhere, like 10 different packs of Mario one, Barbie. It's one deck was just all special cards, a little tiny deck, whatever. And they loved it. They're like, "Oh yeah." And then yesterday's Friday fell on Friday the 13th, so I want to do something even more special. So I did a escape room inside our classroom, and I at the same time I'm grading papers. That same Friday we had to have the grades so far put into the system. We got next week the parent conference things. So there's a lot of other stuff going on. But I was trying to get this escape room going off. So the first piece of the escape room was I wanted black light pens, invisible pens, So I bought those first, and then I was just thinking, all right, how can I do this? Because it's 24, 25 kids in one classroom. And how can I... So as the week's going on, ideas are popping into my head, and then I'm buying stuff. So I'm like, all right, we could do, so it's a Catholic school, so I had to have a secret Bible. And I'm always on about, use the dictionary. So I got a dictionary, the ones where you open it up and it has a lock or a key thing. And like a real escape room, I had the ones where you put the lock on the door. But I didn't lock our door because some kids might be all like, plus they need to use the bathroom. So I locked the next door room. And the story I came up with on the day, because everything is just, I was just like, we're going to go into the other room, but it's Friday the 13th, and I heard that if I touch the door, I will lose my voice. If I lose my voice, it's up to you guys to solve the mystery. They're 11, so they could get into it, but then they're just like, what are you gonna do if you don't got a voice? So then I won't teach. Like, yay! And the time is ticking. We only have like 30 minutes before the end of the day. And they just keep interrupting me, but it's Fun Friday. We're gonna push through regardless of how much time they have to do it. So then, I'll walk you through how it should have went. It didn't go this way. So we'd go out to the door, to the next door room, and I'd be like, oh no, there's a lock. And I would touch the lock, and then I put a little paper on there and it said, dear class, I have lost my voice. I need your help to find the key. Your first clue is find the cleanest cubby. At this point, they run, screaming into our room. Now, on our floor, there's no other classes, so it's okay, but whatever. So they go in there, and they're just like running around. So then I'm like, stop. Like, I thought you lost your voice. I said, we'll stop the game right now. I'll find my voice. And they calm down. So they find the first clue, which was a little rock, and then you slide the cover down, and it has a little thing. So I had the first clue, which was look under a poster. But they didn't see the clue because, and it said look for the stars, and then another. So I had it where there's 25 kids, and I had it separate into 5 different activities that the 5 groups would solve at the same time, and then they would all come together and form like Voltron, and boom. But it just turned into every clue, 20 kids would run over to that one clue. And then there was one kid, he's like, everyone is so loud and they don't. And I'm like, I know. And I felt bad because I had written some secret messages on their desks, having clues. And I put some, so it was beautiful how I set it up within the 3. I mean, I was working on all week, but I had to do my last lunch period when they were in lunch, and I was just running in there. So since they were moving as a big old mob, they weren't getting the clues. So then I would have to step in and be like, why don't you look over there? And then they all run over there. And then the one student who's not run over there, go get the dictionary. And he goes, I got the dictionary. Then the kids would rip it out of his hands. So I gave him 40 minutes. 40 minutes, right? So I have a timer on the screen. It's tick, 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 tick. And one of the clues was a word search. I gave 6 students a word search. Do the word search. The words that are left will be your clue. And the clue would say, look for the Dasani bottle in the lost and found section. We have a little lost and found. And I had a little Dasani bottle. But all they did was look for fan. Like, they didn't do the word search. Some of them must have thought, oh, he doesn't want us to have fun, so he's having us do work. But it clearly says secret message. Like, the instructions are. So the ones who had it, they stopped doing it, and they just gave up. They're not doing anything. And everyone's running around. I had one clue that I had little glow-in-the-dark beads, like they write stuff out, and the clue was, what is my favorite song? So every time they ask me, I say One Bread. It's like a song they sing at Mass. One bread, one body, one da-da-da. So they're like, what's his favorite song? And they're running around, what's his favorite song? What's his favorite song? What's it? Again, they weren't working as a team, because some know it, because I always say, sing that. So the one kid comes over and he's like, it's One Bread. Don't tell me, tell them. So he goes, his favorite song is One Bread. And then they start to spell it out. They show me it. I give them another clue. One clue was one of the students drew a picture for me, and I put it on my desk. So when they got to the clue, it said, this is a replica, there's a copy, find the original. They go over to original, and then with the light pen, they should be able to see circles around they all have a number, student number, and those numbers had something under their desk. And that was another piece of, it was a puzzle of our class photo as puzzle pieces, and they had to. So I did all this stuff, but they, every now and then I had to redirect them because they're way off. And then their final clue was the Dasani one, because inside it was a key that opened the Bible, that opened the thing. But by 3 minutes, they still haven't solved the word search, because they just didn't. By 2 minutes, now they're working on it, because there's no more clues. This is, because I wanted them to have fun, so I would give them clues, because I have a little laser point, like over there, over there. And finally, at 1 minute, I tell the kid, I look at the laser, and he's looking at the laser, and then they stand in front of the laser, so I'm pointing at them, like, get out. So then he gets to the sign and like, shake it. You could hear there's something in it. And then finally, they shake it and it just falls, and then the key falls down. They go run over to get to the Bible. By the time they got to the Bible, the time was boop, boop. The end. They open up the thing. So the final code. Now, somehow I lost one of the puzzle pieces, so it was going to be my birthday. 19 would be the last piece, and they already had 81, but a lot of the things were written in the black light, so you had to like look for it. And then it's done. I'm like, oh, we don't get a prize. I told them there's treats. All I got was little fruit snacks, but there's also donut boxes, because I got the other grades donuts for their Fun Friday. Yeah, I'm going all out, spending money, whatever. Well, it's not even a whatever, but anyway, so I was like, yeah, you guys are just, cause I put on the board, teamwork makes the dream work, but they weren't a team, they were a mob. They were just, as they always are. And I was telling them before, we can go on field trips, but I don't want to take you guys on field trips. You guys are crazy. I didn't say crazy, but you guys just don't listen. You don't work as a team. So maybe by the end of the year, we'd be on some Coach Carter thing, like winning championship, underdogs, Mighty Ducks, one of those kind of endings. But yeah. And then one clue, I put it behind her desk, behind the curtains. I put little stars where all the clues were. And then on her desk, it says, look behind you, find a star. And then I was like, did you look on your desk? She's like, sees the message, and then she stands up, and she found 2 more pieces to the puzzle. But one piece was missing that actually had the 19, the corner piece, which I don't even know what it is. So most likely I would have just been like, it's 19, and then we'd have rushed out there. But when it was finished, they were kind of, oh, we didn't get it. And I'm like, yeah. But then they're also saying, this was the best ever. And one boy was just like, Mr. Bailey, you went all out. You made us an escape room. Oh, wow, you didn't have to do this. So kids being like, what do you call it? Aware. And then the one girl, when her brother came to pick her up, he's like, yeah, we got donuts, because he's 8th grader. And she's like, well, we got an escape room, and it was the best ever. So yeah, teacher. But oh my gosh, I was so tired. I came home and I just went to sleep. I was in bed and I was like, no, I gotta finish I'm still doing my 365 thing. We're up to 277. And I was just like trying. And I just talked about this in the rap, and I just went to bed. I went to bed around 8, messed around a little bit, looking at the new Apple computer I want to get. So I was in Sleepy Town by 9 o'clock. I woke up at 7 in the morning. I was tired, still tired, and I still got to go back to work. Like my dad's always like, you're gonna go back to work? It's the week. Like there's work. There's always work to be done. I want to clean up my room, get ready for the parents. All this stuff I bought, I'm gonna return it back to Amazon. We'll see what can be returned. Now some of it's like the Dasani bottle. I thought it was the whole bottle. It's just a little compartment. Useless. The rock doesn't click in there. It's useless. The Bible's kind of cool. Dictionary was like, so I have legitimate reasons to return stuff. The light pens, they can keep it. I just told them don't bring it back to class because I will snatch it. Stuff like that. But yeah, it was a fun week. For the older kids, they played Uno, so they'll probably just get the leftovers from the 6th grade. But the 7th and 8th graders were just even worse. I told them, if you do the homework, because I gave them like 3 days, color this periodic chart. We're gonna make a big chart. And the one kid comes, I lost mine, so and so took mine, but every day is an excuse. Like, it's a one. So I'm like, you gotta sit out. So everyone, and then there's like 24 kids, so that's 2 donuts, little munchkins for every student. So they made their line. I guess I gotta hand them out, but they just lined up. By the time the last few came up there wasn't enough for 2 each. So the first few are eating donuts, and one of the kids like, you guys act like you never had donuts before, which maybe they didn't. I don't know. And then the one kid's like, I didn't even get it. Well, do your work. And then the other class, same thing. They just had to fill in this chart for their. So for the homework, for the note taking, they don't know how to take notes. So I just had them color in the notes, color out a printout thing, and then stick it in their notes, and then we'll write the notes under the picture. So kind of multi-sensory kind of learning. But one kids, they didn't even cut it out. That was the homework. Cut it out, color it. Like, I didn't know we had to do that. But we spent the whole class period. All right, cut it out. If you don't do it now, it's homework. So then for their class, they had to sit there and do it while everyone else was doing there. And by the time they were finished, these kids, by the time it was finished, the kids, they're like, all right, they're playing Uno. So whoever wins gets the donuts. Like, what about your classmates? They didn't get, like, oh yeah, that's true. Out of sight, out of mind. So yeah, it was a good day. Very tiring. I heard a lot of, you're the best. Your classes are fun. Etc., 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 etc. But it's tiring, man. I don't recall too many teachers in my heyday who were like that. Because I met one of the parents. They came to the. Well, I didn't even talk. Last week we had we walked around. We had like a walkathon to raise money. This wasn't last week's video, but we had a walkathon. We walked around, and some of the parents came. So in my class, I had 3 parents who came to chaperone with their kids, whatever. And on that day, it was so hectic because I've never been. I was at the school last year, but I don't think I went to this one because it wouldn't have been in my job description. So I could stay home, which I did. So I didn't know where we were going. So when after we had a pep rally, and then I had to get back to my class, and I had to make sure my kids who weren't going got back to the office. So when we came out, we were supposed to follow 8th and 7th grade, but they were already en route. So we were like, ah, and she's like, do you know where you're going? Like, no, I do not. Like, follow us. And then we had to, and then the kids are like, stop touching that stick. They're picking shit off the ground. Dogs are coming out. Do not touch that dog. They're just. So I'm stressed. But whatever. So one mom was in the front and one mom was behind me, and I was just kind of in the going in between. But then we got the one kid. He was like it seemed like he doesn't walk ever. And we were walking for a good 50 minutes. And because we were like behind, when we got to the spot, 7th and 8th came back. So they were resting, then they came back. Because there's a time schedule. So they rushed to get there so they can relax, and then they rush back. So we get there, and then we had to just turn back around and go back down. So this kid, he's just getting further. So at one point, he's all the way down there, and the class is way up there. I can't even see my students or anyone. And he's just like limping, and I'm just like, are you okay? Are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. Can we stop? Like, you don't walk? Like, I don't walk like this. So finally, I had to call the school and say, principal, one of the students sprained their ankle, and she's like, where are you? I'll send someone. And then he got a ride to the school, and then when I got to the school, he just went home. So yeah, it was very stressful. It was a stressful day. But I kind of lost my thought. Stressful day. That was last week. Yeah, I forgot. But that was last week. It's in the other video. But anyway, so school, blah blah. Oh yeah, the homeroom moms. Oh, that was my point. So, the one of the students told one of the homeroom moms, his mom, who came on the field trip, about the class we had. I showed him a video about me climbing Mount Fuji. I showed him, I just showed him one of my videos I posted on YouTube. But I had to edit it so it didn't look like a YouTube video because I don't want them searching for me. And the whole time I'm showing it, are you on YouTube? Oh, it's such a great video. Oh, you should do YouTube. You can make money. No, you can't. Or I can't. I mean, I did, but it's not what you think it is. But I can't give away all that. So when I met his mom, she's like, oh, my son was talking about how cool you are. You got videos. You're such a great editor. And da-da-da-da-da. So yeah, that was the whole point of all that. But and then we talked, and she's just like, yeah. And the general consensus with all the parents I met, they're just like, yeah, don't know how you do it. Don't know how you do it. It's kind of like when people they say, you went to Japan, don't know how you do it. I never get that. I did it. I hopped on a plane, I landed, and I just did it. They're making it seem like I climbed inside a volcano, active volcano, and hopped on little rocks to get across. Kids need to be taught, and you just need to have patience. I'm patient to an extent. I mean, yesterday or Thursday, there was this incident where a young student of mine, the day before, he comes up to me, he's like, here's my notebook for the homework. I said, I don't want your homework. I'll collect it tomorrow. I was like, here it is. I said, I don't want it. I'll collect it tomorrow. He puts it somewhere. I said, take it off, take it back. I don't want it. I don't want it. He runs out with his notebook, goes home. The next day, he's like, Mr. Bailey, do you have my homework? I said, I do not have your homework. He's like, can you check? And this is we're doing something. I'm like, what do you mean, can I check? So then I'm like, okay, I'll check. And I tell the class, hold on, I'm going to check. Or I just said, hold on. So I go to my desk and I clear, because all day I'm going through stuff. I won't do this again because I just waste time. So I took about 30 minutes to get my desk all situated. Papers here, put this over here. Couldn't find it. And then I'm like, it's not here. But I gave it to you. I said, I didn't ask for it. I gave it to you. And we're going back and forth. Listen, I'm done. So it gets to the point where, he's starting to look like he's going to cry. He's not one of those kind of kids, but, this back and forth. And my face is just kind of I'm done. It's not here. So why? And this happened 2 months ago. I'm remember last two? Because they're always trying to put on me. But you did not. So today, the next day, he comes in with it. I don't say anything about it. Because that's not, there's a time and a place for all that. But just stressful. And I was just, because I had plans set up. We're going to go into the lab and do some lab stuff. And but as I told them, I was just like, you know what? Today was whatever, and I'm going to go home, reset, come back. Because it was Fun Friday the next day, so I wanted to do something fun and not have things... you should never go to bed angry, so you should never come back to school angry. That's one of what I was saying. But, yeah, so school... School. Going backwards, I went to therapy the other day. The week before, I didn't go because my school had a teachers meeting about the walkathon, which we didn't do anything in the teachers meeting regarding the walkathon. So I was joking with the teachers, do we have to go? You can't skip all of them, but we're going to alternate. You skip this one, I skip, and then we'll tell what happened. But I was just saying, there's no point really to the therapist. There's no point. There's no point. Not life is pointless and existence is, but it's just, it doesn't really matter. I think, because she always asks me questions, but I just gave up on thinking about it, because I'll just think, and then our little hour sessions, we might go off on something. So, how did you feel about when your mom passed? Like, what does that got to do with this? You asked me that, and now we're talking about this, and then we'll go on and on and on and on about, like, my mom passed, and that's what happens. It's a fact of life, and why would I harp on that? But don't you? No, I don't. I'm more worried about, well, this didn't happen at the session, but this happened yesterday. But this is something that would bother me. I was driving home from yesterday, Friday. I come down the street, as I always do, and there's a stop sign and a stop sign, right? I come down, or maybe it's a two-way street, so stop sign, stop sign, stop sign. I come down, and there's no cars coming, so I'm like going into like the walkway kind of thing, as everyone does. Doesn't make it right, but anyway, there's no cars, there's no people, so I'm just going in there. Car comes, I stop to let them go or not go. They don't move, so I start going. I look over, I see them there, but there's a house on the corner, and this guy, black guy, he's like making all these gestures and stuff. I could barely hear him, so I roll down the window. He's like, "There's a stop sign." I said, "Yes, there is. I did not run it." So I'm just like, "There's a stop sign." "There's a stop sign." So I roll down. He's like, "There's two stop signs." Like, he's shouting. Maybe the kids are there. So I get it. Maybe as a parent, you don't want people running stop signs, but I didn't run the stop sign. So then he's just like, "Where are you from? New York?" I said, "No, I'm from here. I'm right down the street." "You from New Jersey? You from Oklahoma? You from California? You from Miss?" He keeps, I'm just like, now I'm angry. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So I was going on a chocolate run. So come in and I'm gonna go up, get my chocolate, and I was gonna come back around, like, not on some, I don't know how it went, but just like, I live down the street, because our street is notorious for kids who do the wheelie, I don't even know what you call it. We used to do a pop-a wheelie. That's a one-time thing, but they're just riding on their back wheel, like doing all that in the middle of the street. Or when the fireworks are happening, they doing it in the middle of the street. It's like, go around, no, get out the street. Or they're doing like, that's our street. So I'm always vigilant. But he's just like shouting, like, is that the example you want to set for your children? I just left school. I teach 11-year-olds. I'm all about, I would never, for me to, but my level of, I don't know, it would have escalated. He's already angry about whatever he's angry about, and I'm already stressed about, so that's something I would be talking to my therapist about. Like, it doesn't even matter what I say to this guy, because he already has, I'm not going to change his mind. And it could escalate to, you want to fight? And I'm like, why want to fight for? I just want to understand why you're shouting at me. That could cause an accident. I could actually be sitting there and da-da-da. So things like that is what I want to talk about in any session. Why are people that way? And why am I this way? But we always go off on some random stuff. And I was saying, I'm broken and damaged. Like, you're not broken or damaged. Not in that sense of broken damagedness, but just I'm wired in a certain way. And it's like you can't unsee something. Like, if you like open a door and you see something, it's like you can't unsee it. So I've been around the world, and I seen stuff, read stuff, so it's just there. And it's hard for me to, all right, so we're gonna jump. I'm always jumping. So I met a lady, she's actually doing the same job I was doing last year, same position, same company, whatever. And we talk. Her kids do music and stuff, and she has her own shop. So on that end, that's cool, we'll talk more, but it's usually, again, the kids are always there. So it's just like, oh, da, 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 da. But I'm en route. But we could always sit down and talk about whatever. So I told her about my escape room, and I asked her if she could help me. She came, but then we started talking about nothing about the escape room. And she's just like, yeah, this school is just, I'm like, yeah, this, without throwing the school under the bus, but I've been there. I told your company, they know. I just said, don't, just take the paycheck. Don't lose your sanity. Just do what you got to do. Get in, get out. Wouldn't blame you if you quit. She's like, I just don't understand. The kids today need discipline. That is the case, but that is not. She's like, I just don't understand. And I'm like, I don't understand why you don't understand. I didn't want to get all political or use any abstract analogy, but things are the way they are because of and she's an adult. I thought she was the same age as I. Well, I don't know why I thought that. I'm 42, but she was like, I remember when I was 40. I remember when I was 42. I remember when I was 45. I'm like, what? I thought you were 40. Black don't crack, right? So, but she just, and again, I like preaching to the choir. I'm not a big fan of that. And but long story short, I was just saying, the school is the way it is because the way it is of the school, and it's not. And this is kind of what I was saying to my therapist. There's nothing to understand. It just is. On Monday or Tuesday, we were reading the Bible, or we were doing a religion class, and there's a part where it says God is eternal. God is all powerful. God is all knowing. God omnipresent. All those. So one student was like, well, so what came before him? Like, you won't like the answer. There was nothing. He was before him. He wasn't. He just is. It's like, but yeah, you got to wrap your head around and just let it go. So I feel a lot of things fall under those kind of, you live in our world is filled with good people and bad people. The end is not, how could someone be so bad? And how could, it just is. And if you waste your time thinking of the whys, you're not going to, so we need to figure out another way around it. But I guess in therapy, they don't want that. They want a reason. Sir. But I'm just like, I want, but yeah, it's, but I do feel the more I go to therapy, I'm able to have more concrete thoughts on what, so she is not helping me with all these big thoughts I have because she can't. But what is happening is I am crystallizing my own thoughts on what I believe. So she's kind of pushing me to the, it is what it is. I would really love if she could, if I, like a double glass room, like a fake mirror kind of thing. And she's in the room and we could observe, and this is for anyone, but just see how they would observe, how they would respond under certain circumstances if they follow suit with how they do. Like if I was in a room and there was a bunch of people, I'd probably be in the furthest corner observing but doing my own thing. I'd be aware of the surroundings, what's going on, where's my exit, who's the da-da-da-da. If I need a weapon, but I'm not on alert, like, oh, I'm just chilling over there. Other people will say, yeah, I would do that, but then they're all like over there being so what do you do? So it's kind of what you say, but do you really do it? A lot of people don't do what they say, or they don't remember that they're not. But yeah. Moving forward, next week my sister's coming to visit from England again. She was here a couple weeks ago. So it's gonna be my sister, her daughter, my other sister, and her son. I haven't seen my other sister for 20, 30, 40 years. And we don't really talk on Instagram and Facebook and all that. So I know them every Christmas or whatever, they might talk, whatever, but we don't talk. Last year I remember getting a phone call from Facebook. It's like, oh, it's my sister. She's like, are you busy? I'm like, I'm at school. I'll call you later. But so it's gonna be cool. a little stressful. In addition, I didn't tell my dad yet, but a friend of mine is visiting from Japan on the 20th. They're coming on the 21st. I don't know when my friend is gonna leave. I didn't ask. I'm thinking it's a one-day thing because she just said, can I pick her up from the airport? Maybe I gotta find out when she's coming. So it's gonna be, but I'll tell my dad today. He likes to fuss about everything, but yeah. And let's see, last thing, I guess. Last thing. This is also in other videos, but I've been thinking about it. Last night I found another piece to this. So for anyone, but for my school, for my kids, especially the 8th and 7th graders, school is what school is. You know, it could be fun if you like the subject or the teacher or the atmosphere, or it could be boring or whatever it is. But they still need to learn, and I still want to teach them. So one idea I had was I could make songs using the content of whatever we're learning. Make it sound trappy or lo-fi, or I think that's what they would be into. Maybe some boom bap, maybe some pop. I don't know, whatever I feel like putting myself out there doing. But I don't want to be singing to it in class. I just want to make a video. And I don't want my face, because if I'm like just an avatar, it could be more, I could have some distance. I want to be able to walk around and be like, get out of the way, you stupid boy. Who would say that to me? I don't know. But then I see on their phone they're watching this viral video on TikTok. Do you see the new trend on TikTok or Instagram? Somebody says it, but someone else animates it, and then someone else animates what's been animated. Sometimes they link it, so that could happen. So they might be saying this song, but different animation. And if they're repeating it, panda, 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 panda. He didn't say endangered species, but maybe he threw it in. Panda, panda, endangered. Yeah, he didn't say that, but it was. But so making songs that sound like the music they listen to, that is fun, that they'll be able to study from, even if they're not even studying. They just be sitting there, yeah, just 365, da-da-da-da-da, and the chemical balance, da-da-da. So I found Adobe, I think it's Animate or something like that, where I don't understand it so much, but it scans your face. So Apple has the same thing. You could do the emojis, but it's inside the program, and you could have your own, you could draw or have someone draw a face or character, and then you could put backgrounds, or I think that's how it's going to work. So I'll be like, this is off the top, all right? So I'll be like, I know you don't like the rainy weather, but it's good for the flowers to make them feel better. Photosynthesis will, I don't have a beat, and I'm just going on. But just funny enough where it's like, hee hee hee, but the information is there, where they can be like, okay, photosynthesis happens from the dissonance, and it makes it into, and it goes, and because I do my, well, I could say, because I am currently doing the 365 challenge, and because I've been rapping off for life, but more specifically because I am actively doing my craft. I am like last night, I make a beat, 3 seconds, and then I start writing, boom, 10 seconds, and then without even practicing the beat to the lyrics or making sure they match up, I just hit record, and then a one take, da, 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 and then as I'm going, I might have to rhyming, or I say good night or some shit like that. Done. And then I just tweak the beat a little bit, maybe EQ it, and then even if there are little mistakes in there, it just adds to the whatever, and then I just upload it as is. And then the people who are watching those things like, oh wow, that was such a dope freestyle, and da 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 da. So I could make these off pretty quickly. It's just the way that how to get it out there and how to share it. And I don't know if a Catholic school's gonna be like, I don't want that hippity hippity hop hippity. So I gotta make sure everything is clean. Not that I'll be saying anything dirty, but I can't use any of the slangs either. Oh, Darwin came out and people thought he was sus. And then the ops came by and they what? So I gotta not use those words, but just Darwin was a man who had a theory, and I'm gonna break it down for the classroom clearly. He said this, that, and this and that. And if you write it down, you'll be able to bring it back. And listen, this isn't your teacher. This is some other guy named something like that. But then, and I could develop the kind of, use them as a test group, the school, my kids. And then maybe at the end of the year, I'll have enough material or have a good sense where I could like patent or put it out into the bigger space. So I got plans, you know, I'm working on things. Working. But I'm so tired, man. So tired. And yeah, so tired. So tired. So tired of working. So tired of rain. Why can't the sun come out again? I've been doing that all my life. So it's like, it's a perfect crossroad. Or we gonna be lonely. It's a perfect where everything will come together. I got the right kids who, they need the boost. I did the progress reports and the grades were like, I had to tweak certain things, like make a homework more points or take away the homework. So I was gonna curve some grades, but they said to leave it. So, and I just, so yeah, but anyway, that's everything. You don't even have to watch any of the old videos, not knowing if I'm gonna post it or not, but that's everything. So be safe and look out for I don't know if I'll post it here. Maybe you guys could also be my beta testers. Let me know what you think about it. But the video, the thing about kids, and if there's anyone who does animation and stuff, I know a lot of people do, holler at me, because I need some help, or put me in a course. I mean, there's courses, but yeah, maybe you could join. Maybe we could be partners on this. Be a thing. But yeah. All right, peace. Look, it's at 42. I didn't even plan that. I'm 42. It's at 42. All right, bye.